This is Jordan from Knowledge HQ, and today we're going to be looking at 5 ways to save money on food. Food is an essential part of life. It's something we need, not something we want. And as your family grows larger, it only becomes more expensive. Food is something that we call a recurring cost, meaning every single month you're going to have to pay and pay and pay. So, despite having to pay for food, what are some ways that we can reduce that cost and keep some of your hard-earned money in your pockets? Way number 1, shop at the right stores. Put frankly, there are simply some grocery stores that are more expensive than others. In choosing your grocery store, you need to look at quality, but you also need to look at price. So there are certain stores such as Aldi, Costco, and others where you can get relatively high quality food for relatively low costs. Conversely, certain stores like Harris Teeter and Whole Foods have a much higher cost. So in choosing which stores you shop at, this is an essential step to reducing your food bill. I know that my wife and I, we used to shop at Safeway, at Harris Teeter, at these different stores. By switching to Aldi, we personally cut our grocery bill in half. There are so many factors to deciding what is the best grocery store for you or for your family. All I want you to do is make sure that you're taking a look around and not settling until you know you're getting the best value for the stores in your area. Way number 2, stick to a shopping list. This seems very obvious, but most people don't stick to their shopping list if they even have one. When you make up your shopping list, put down all the essentials that you need and nothing else. So when you go to the store, if there's something there that is not on your shopping list, you don't get it. If we begin to bend or to break with what is on our shopping list just by getting what we want or the purchases that sound good at the time, we will always go over our shopping list and over our budget. Another important aspect of this is to always choose the deals over the meals. What I mean by this is when you're making your shopping list, when you're planning on what to have to eat, you should have already done that before going into the grocery store. And what is on your shopping list should reflect what you're going to be eating based on the current specials, coupons, and deals available to you. Not the other way around. You shouldn't go to the store and kind of decide what you're going to eat and plan for meals based on what's in the store. Because by doing that, you'll go in with an idea, oh, I want to eat steak, or we're going to have a nice chicken dinner, or I'm going to make cream of mushroom soup. And because you've already decided on that meal, you're simply going to buy those ingredients whatever the price is. So in order to avoid impulse buys, items you don't need, and even good items, good quality items, to make sure you're getting the best possible deal at the time, make sure you make a good shopping list and make sure you stick to that shopping list. Tip number 3, eat in and eat less. One of the biggest cuts into our food budget is eating out at restaurants. Now, everything in moderation is okay, of course. So it's very fun to go eat with your family, to try new foods, experience new places. But by doing it too much, especially by doing it every lunch at work or with friends too often, we are wasting so much money. It is always significantly cheaper to eat at home, to eat with a prepared meal that you've made, than to go and eat at a restaurant. More than this, it's usually much healthier. You can make things with better ingredients, healthier ingredients, less fats, less sauces, less dressings, and typically the portion sizes at the restaurants are bigger than we need. So we do one of two things. We either overpay for a meal that we're not going to eat all of it, or because we've paid so much, we eat all of it anyway, so not to waste it, and we have this unhealthy, gluttonous attitude towards eating out at restaurants. The same thing on that note is to eat less. We want to avoid certain foods such as sweets, such as chips and snacks that really have no staying power. There are certain foods that, first off, they aren't healthy for you, but not only that, they don't fill you up. So you can eat a bag of chips and 30 minutes later you're hungry again. Instead, we want to stick to those healthy fats, those meats, those potatoes, those carrots, those foods that have that staying power. After you eat your dinner or your lunch or you have a snack, you won't be hungry again in a very short while. And the last tip for eating less is to drink water, and especially to drink a cup of water before each meal. You've probably heard this before, But if you actually do this in practice, you'll find that you eat less because you've already filled up a part of your stomach with water, and that you're just generally healthier. You have more energy, you sleep better. Drinking enough water is such a great step forward to fixing so many of our health problems. Tip number 4 to save more money on food is to do your own prep work. One of the things that we take for granted at the grocery store is that the people who prepare the food there, whether it's a fruit tray or a vegetable platter or pre-made cookie dough or whipped cream, we take for granted that we can do that ourselves. Especially with the fruit tray, right? If you get a thing of mixed fruit from the grocery store, you could have just bought all of those fruits, cut them up yourself, and you'd have 3 times the amount for half the price. So you need to be thinking, what can I do at home to save myself a lot of money? So fruits, vegetables, making your own dough, baking your own desserts, your own pies. These are all ways to take on more work for yourself, which you probably are going to enjoy doing, but which will then save you money on your grocery bill. Obviously, kind of the extent of this is to even grow your own foods. So a lot of people have an herb garden, or they grow tomatoes or certain vegetables. Maybe they have an apple tree in their yard. It's very easy to start your own herb garden. My wife grows cilantro and parsley and all these herbs herself, and it's very easy. Go online, see how to do it. It's very easy. They're always fresh, they taste better, and they save you a lot of money. The fifth and the final tip to save money on your food costs is simply to not waste food. This seems so obvious, but it's so often overlooked. And so many people go into the refrigerator to see what there is to eat and end up throwing out half of the refrigerator because the food's expired. So there's really 2 ways to do this, because every time we waste food, we throw something out, we are literally throwing money down the drain. We're throwing money into the garbage can, we're washing money down the sink. So we really need to figure out how not to waste these food items. And there's really 2 key steps to this. The first is to eat your leftovers. If you're someone who doesn't like leftovers, get over it. That means you're someone who doesn't like to save money. So if money is, less important to you than your own, need to not eat leftovers, that's fine. But know that. Know that you are actually throwing money away by not eating your leftovers. The second part is to simply buy as much as you need and no more. This is why having a good pre-planned shopping list is so, so important. It doesn't work if you constantly buy too much meat or yogurt or cheese or any of these perishable items to the point where you simply can't eat enough of it. Or you just don't eat it. If you're not going to eat cottage cheese, don't buy cottage cheese thinking that maybe you'll eat it. So you need to figure out what you're going to eat, how much you need, and don't get any more of that when it comes to perishable items. Most families throw away hundreds of dollars every month on spoiled leftovers. If you found these tips on saving money on food costs helpful, please consider giving this video a like. For further videos on how to save money, on how to increase your knowledge, and how to do certain things and increase your skills, please consider subscribing to this channel and turning on that notification ring. Till next time, this has been Jordan with Knowledge HQ.